Welcome to Knot Wars, where we pit fishing's best knots in a head-to-head competition to determine which knots you can count on. Now last week we had a major battle in our current line-to-line category featuring the easy-to-tie leader knot and the tough but tough-to-tie fisherman's bend. Now remember, we're looking for the best knot for attaching leader material to super braid. As in previous Knot Wars, we're going to use three types of line. Our main line is going to be 14-pound fire line in flame green, and for leader material we're going to use two types of line. Our first is going to be mono, that's going to be 14-pound trilene XT Tough Red, and our fluorocarbon is going to be the new trilene 100% fluorocarbon in 15-pound test. So who was last week's winner? The leader knot, and by a large margin. And if you missed the episode, here's a refresher on how to tie it. As with all line-to-line knots, you run the two tag ends parallel. Bring your main line back toward the middle, and this is kind of the tricky part. Wrap it around 3 times, then run the tag end through. Before you tighten, moisten like all knots. Now do the same thing with the monofilament or fluorocarbon. Wrap it around 3 times, run it through, draw it tight. Now that's our current leader, the leader knot. Now the challenger this week is called the barrel knot, and it's a great knot for attaching lines of similar diameter. Unfortunately, the barrel knot is very, very tough to tie. The first step is to run the tag ends parallel to each other in opposite directions. Take line number 1, wrap it back toward the middle 1, 2, 3 times around both lines, and insert the tag end between the 2 lines and hold. Now repeat the same process with the second line coming in from the opposite direction. Now the toughest part of this knot is forming each individual knot, but it can be done with practice, especially with fire line. The final step, lubricate and draw both knots together. Now that's the barrel knot, and it's a tough knot to tie, but is it tough enough? Let's find out. Well, the knot testing machine's all set up. We've got our challenger, the barrel knot, here on the right. We've got our reigning champ, the leader knot, here on the left. Let's see which one's the best. So there you have it. The leader knot beats the barrel knot. You'll note we're at 5.7 pounds. That's a little less than our long-term average in terms of the barrel knot, but it was a very tough knot to tie with fire line and very, very inconsistent, so that number doesn't surprise me. That brings us up to next week, where the current leader, the leader knot, faces a very, very tough competitor in the surgeon's knot, a knot well known for easily attaching lines of 2 diameters. By the way, if you want to practice any of the knots featured on Knot Wars, including the 2 today, just simply log on to fishingclub.com. All the instructions are right there. Knot Wars, because no good fish story ends in a broken knot.